Welcome to Harnessing AI Innovations, a collaborative journey with Siemens and Microsoft. In today's world, many manufacturing companies have a lot of challenges. And one of those challenges is around operations in regards to quality events. In a study done by 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗶cie, 78% of quality events go unreported from the number of companies that they've interviewed. And of those 78%, 16% of those were major defects. Think about that for a moment. You've got many defects not being reported, especially major ones. But just not having the ability or not having the employees even report these events cost money in the long run. So we at Siemens and Microsoft, we wanted to help manufacturing companies out. And so we're taking the number one PLM or product lifecycle management tool called Teamcenter and marrying it with the number one team collaboration hub, Microsoft Teams. And what we're doing is we're getting the hands of Teamcenter into everyone in the company. Why? Because everyone has Teams. And to be able to access Teamcenter directly from a mobile device through Teams and have a collaboration through there is the easiest way to do this. And as you can see here, we're accessing Teamcenter from the very beginning, from customer requirements to product requirements, all the way through the product, the service of the product. And all this is being done and accessed through Teams. So what does one use case look like? Well, let's take Annie, who is a manufacturing engineer. And she has discovered a problem with the door assembly out on the manufacturing floor. So what does she do? She opens up Teamcenter app inside of Teams on her mobile device. She opens up the camera, she takes a picture, and she describes the issue. But she's got gloves on. How is she going to type this into the form, into the problem report, into Teams? Well, she's basically going to use her voice. And by using her natural language, the AI inside of Teamcenter is going to take what she says, and then it's going to fill out the form directly for her. Then she's actually going to attach the picture that she took, the red line information that she took to give emphasis to what it is, and she can write text on the or transcribe text onto the picture itself, but it gets attached to the problem report inside of Teamcenter. And because it's doing that, it's actually going to route the problem report now to David. And Annie and David are now going to collaborate this, and they can do that through Teams as well. But they're going to do this in their native language. So David, he takes this, he's going to go out and he's going to create a new revision of the design to address what was in the problem report. Then you have Charles, who is a change analyst, and he's going to analyze the impact of what's included from the various configurations and initiates that engineering change request workflow inside of Teamcenter. And then everyone's going to get notified inside of Teams that needs to have their portion of that problem report taken care of. And they can collaborate inside of Teams in itself, and everyone can agree to the proposed changes and sign off on that workflow directly from Teamcenter inside of Teams. Now, let's take a look at this in a real live video, and let's take a look. So here we have Annie, who's actually at another portion of this robot, and there's some vibrations happening inside of here. So here's the form. She's going to speak in her natural language. It's going to take that, AI is going to translate it and fill in the information correctly in the form for her. So you can see it kept the description in her native language, but everything else it translated. She takes a picture, she goes in and she highlights the specific area that needs to be done. Then she's going to submit this problem report into Teamcenter directly from Teams itself. You can see the problem reports there. It's listed. Stakeholders can take a look at it, and they can move forward. You can see here inside of Teams, David's taking a look at this. He's saying, hey, I need to access from inside of Team Center. It says, okay, I need to make a change. So I need to have a new version of this particular one. I'm looking at the problem report from Annie. He says, okay, we have a new design of this. I'm going to take a look at it in 3D. Yes, this is the new design that we need to make and manufacture. You can compare the two if need be, and send this off to have it be manufactured. And we're going to take a look at, hey, now that we have this new revision, we need to add it to the top level assembly. So we're simply going to add that to the top level assembly. So now we have two versions of this assembly, one with the previous revision and now with the new revision. And now it's going to go through its workflow, right? And we need to go through who needs to approve it. So once they approve it, Annie then says, okay, we have this. I've installed it. What's the result of this? What was the result of me putting in the new part? And she's going to go in and she's going to comment as to what did it do? What did the new one do? Did it actually resolve the issue? And they can go through, tested it, new design. Again, she can do this through typing, or she can do it through, again, her native language, and to be able to set that off. And so that is a real live, real world situation and use case that helps us go through there and to see how we're utilizing AI inside of Team Center, working inside of Teams. So what's the technology behind this? Again, it's Microsoft Teams, it's the Azure Open AI service, and Siemens Team Center. And we're making best of SSO enabled. You have a workflow automation. The frontline workers and engineers, have their task and data right there at a glance on their mobile device. They get the smart notifications at their fingertips, and the Azure Open AI services for translations and problem report creation. And so when it comes to this AI, we at Siemens, we put this into three buckets, right? In the form of how we want to analyze information, how we can optimize information, and how we can generate information. So let's take a look at analyze, right? Through generative AI, we can get some data insights into the data that's inside of Team Center. And we're doing this through a chatbot. Now, we're actually building a large language model based on engineering vocabulary, right? Because engineers, we speak a different language, right? And so we want to be able to have this tool understand whenever an engineer is asking a question inside a Team Center, what it's going to go find, right? And everything is securely done inside of Team Center. It never takes any information outside of Team Center. And so as we look at some of the key benefits here, we talked about natural language chat, right? And that I can go and I can speak into or type into Team Center just using my natural language. And if it's engineering language, that's fine. We're teaching the tool. We're building that large model. We have a secure retrieval augmented generation framework, or what they call a RAG framework, to make sure that your data is secure and is only contained inside of Team Center, right? You get responses that are grounded, based on your specific data and traceable resources. You have flexible configuration on how things can actually be customized for AI. And it's a scalable architecture, right? Where you can maintain your performance and your responses of your data. Even if your data grows bigger, we're going to give you quicker responses. And then make sure that everything is constantly updated, right? For your users to get that. Now you may be asking yourself, okay, this all sounds great, Kyle, but what can we do and what can we search on and what is AI looking for, inside of this chatbot? Well, as you can see here, there's multiple different things, really anything that resides inside of Teamcenter. But it can be part and product specifications, looking at words that are sitting inside of a PDF or Word document, or even a text file that's sitting inside of a CAD file from, let's say, product manufacturing information, or PMI. Looking at regulations and standards, being able to search those standards that you're managing inside of Teamcenter. It can also search those. You can have build a frequently asked questions page for your company or specific departments, right? Work procedures, being able to search on that as well, material specification, and a manufacturing process specification. All that information is securely managed inside of Teamcenter and is searchable. So we talked about having a natural language communication with Teamcenter to glean these insights from documents, CAD files, requirements, scan formats from OCR. So if you scan a document, we're going to be able to look at that and take a look at the object characteristic recognition of those pages to find the words that you're looking for. And again, like I said before, text and product manufacturing information, or PMI, from CAD. And today, inside of Teamcenter, we're doing this with NX and Solid Edge, but later CAD files are coming. So now let's take a look at, we're analyzing the data that's sitting inside of Teamcenter, but how can we utilize generative AI and AI when it comes to design, and be able to optimize our designs or even go and create new ones? So inside of NX, you can see all these different things that we can do, where it's either personalization, predictions, you have your human-computer interactions inside of there, and also being able to build upon AI and ML services. And what do we mean by this? Well, think about it from a command prediction standpoint. As the system is learning how the user is using the system through the UI, it's presenting the next commands for them. Or it sees a user doing this type of procedure, it's going to recommend, hey, these are the possible next steps for you, right? Same when it comes to voice command. I sit there on my computer all day long. I'm on team meetings. I've got a headset on. Literally 8 hours a day, I've got a headset on. So why not tell my CAD system what to do, right? Speak through commands and have it help me do what I need to do through voice commands. And the other one is to be able to look at how you can leverage your design data and best practices, to enable a really personalized experience through the intelligent human interaction. And again, that's through that command prediction, the selection prediction. So as the user go through and select certain geometry, it's going to say, oh, you're going to want to select this as well, right? And be able to look at regions or even text through that PMI detection on your drawings in itself. And again, as I mentioned before, voice command assistant, to be able to go through and make it easier for everyone just to be able to speak to their CAD system and have it go through and perform the commands that they need inside of NX. So when we look at this, we're saying, hey, from a virtual standpoint all the way to physical, how can we use AI, right? And so we're implementing co-pilots that are just that. The design engineer, the product development team, they're the pilots. You've got a co-pilot sitting next to you, helping you do your job a lot faster and a lot easier. Not doing your job for you, but helping you out along the way. And the same for the manufacturing and operations. Have co-pilots understand, hey, if something is backing up in the factory floor, have AI come in and help us understand how can we not have this backup? How can we not have this bottleneck? And go through and give us information on here's where we need to adjust, and how much time is it going to take to adjust for that, and everything. And so we are implementing AI throughout our products here at Siemens, and we're partnering with Microsoft in doing that. So I thank you for your time today. I thank you for listening to me. Go ahead and look at this QR code to learn more about Teamcenter and AI and what we're doing. And we thank you for your time.